I think my number 2 NFL coach that I would trust with a mac and cheese recipe, Mike McCarthy.
That's a good one.
He lives in cheese country. He's also built like a barrel. I mean, the man has had some mac and cheese before.
It bursts with cheese. Heavy set for sure. Yeah, and he's in cheese country, but you wonder if Mike McCarthy, being as heavy set as he is and living in cheese country, tinkers too much with the offense and a mac and cheese. And next thing you know, you got, like, instead of the 5 of the 6 perfect cheeses, I got 11 cheeses in there, and it just becomes overwhelming.
Or relies on one cheese too much, kind of like Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
You know, might only be a Fontina guy going, hey, man, you got to mix this thing up.
That's a fair point. And I don't know if I trust Mike McCarthy to use the right noodle. I think that's what gets lost here. Andy Reid doesn't show the real key here. The real key for me is you go with a small shell, if you will. It's opened a little bit.
You're not an elbow guy here.
Listen, mac and cheese is mac and cheese.
You're not going to argue with an elbow.
But if you start going with the spirals or maybe, just a little thicker a noodle like that, the cheese is just going to roll off of it. You want something to hold it and soak it in like a half a shell. I don't know that Mike McCarthy would do that.
It's good coverage area when you get a shell. Let me ask you, I feel like a Jason Garrett mac and cheese, very bland.
Oh, not any good at all.
Terrible.
He's over putting brisket in there for no reason.
Bad mac and cheese. I wonder, how do we feel about a Hugh Jackson mac and cheese? He definitely burns it, right? There's no way he gets that right.
Overcooked, could use some spices.
Yeah.
The problem is when you go 0-16 coaching a football team, your Thanksgiving dinner probably sucks.
I feel like Bruce Arians could give you kind of a wacky, even though he's not coaching anymore, a wacky mac and cheese where maybe there's a little spice in it. Maybe there's some Tabasco sauce on it.
Yeah, okay. I mean, Josh McDaniels will just leave the mac and cheese cold on the stove, won't even throw it in the oven. Who wants cheese? You want cheese? Come get your cheese.
Doug Marone's mac and cheese, again, very boring, very bland.
Not very good
It's really,
at all.
it's just craft, right? It's just making it out of the box.
And Adam Gase, I can't trust either. He starts trading off the Gruyere. You don't know what you're going to do with the mac and cheese.
There's not a lot of coaches that you trust with the mac and cheese as we see.